And welcome back, fellow adventurers, to Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last video, we were hanging out with Dagna down in the Undercroft, and I was going to proceed from there into our next big mission, but then I remembered that this upcoming mission in Orlais is the first one that will have some slightly different dialogue in one or two scenes if you have an active romance going on. And while we've been flirting with Josephine, we have not actually, as far as the game is concerned, entered into a romance with her yet. So I need to get that done before I get into the next big story mission. In order to romance Josephine, as with the other romance options, you first have to complete their official personal quest. Every single companion will have at least one official personal quest to help them out, whether or not you're romancing them. And then additional romance missions become available after that. So we're going to begin Josephine's personal quest.
Inquisitor, I must speak with you.
What is it?
I must explain something first about the Montillier's fortunes.
I remember you said your family had been forbidden from trading in Orlais.
It's devastated our finances. The Montillier's have, in fact, been in debt for over 100 years.
I had no idea your family's situation was so precarious.
Hardly anyone outside the family does. For generations, we've done everything to keep creditors at bay. Sold our lands to stave off interest. It is infuriating to see my family still reduced to this. I'm to become head of our house. If I sell any more of our land, my family will become destitute. That cannot be my legacy to them.
Most people worry about their next meal, never mind an estate.
I'm not blind, but I worry for my family. My foolish sister Yvette with her daydreams, my brothers trying to rebuild our fleet with their own hands. Is it wrong to hope they never know hardship?
Is there anything I can do?
I'd almost solved our problems. For a while. I negotiated a chance to reinstate the Montillier's as landed traders in Orlais. We could rebuild with that. But when I dispatched paperwork to Val Royeaux, I've just learned my carriers were murdered. And the documents restoring my family's trading status destroyed.
Who hates the Montillier's enough to do that?
Leliana made inquiries that bore success. Comte Boisvert, a nobleman in Val Royeaux, claims to know who killed my messengers. He has a request that you come when I meet him, so he's seen publicly conferring with you.
What will being seen with me gain the Comte?
The Comte will drop hints at parties he's to meet with an important visitor. Allies and rivals will take note. Once he's met you, there will be speculation. The Comte will subtly spin reports to his advantage. He will use us. But if he knows who killed my people, I ask that we indulge him.
If that's what it takes to get to the bottom of this, I'll meet this Comte with you.
Thank you, Inquisitor. It means... you are too kind. I must know who killed my couriers just to harm my family.
Okay, so now we will go to Val Royeaux. Adjust my microphone just a second here. Okay. So, go to our map, go to the world map. Let's see, is this the marking? Yeah, here it is. Set that as active. And we need to choose one of these to actually go to. We need to set our party. I don't think it's quite as important as this mission is mostly just discussion. But let's pretend that we're actually making an entourage. We want to be kind of impressive. Well, we know that Sarah has allies in Val Royeaux with the Friends of Red Jenny, so we'll take her along. And we will take... Let's take Cole just for fun. We haven't put him in the party yet. And Vivienne. Again, we don't have a warrior to act as a tank here, but again, I don't think it's actually going to come up. At least I don't remember it. If not, it'll be interesting.
No, I did not see him. The report was
Alright,
vague.
we need to head
Is that
this
her?
way.
Here?
Shut it. I told...
So I think so, yes.
I was right not to send supplies to Haven. Look what happened there.
I am more worried about who attacked them and why.
Who cares? The Chantry declared them evil. An attack. Good day.
Good
Here's
day to you.
Josephine is waiting for us.
Do you know where this noble wanted to meet us?
I do. The Comte Boisvert invited us to his mansion, not far from here. I pray he clears up the deaths of my messengers, as promised.
Lead the way.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for seeing us, Comte Boisvert.
The honor is mine. Please, sit. It's an honor to assist two such distinguished guests.
I hope helping us doesn't endanger you.
Hardly. Even a brush with someone as well known as yourself can become a great asset in Valroyo. Giving you the identity of those who murdered Lady Montile's messengers seemed the least I could do. Have you heard of the House of Repose?
The Assassin's League?
My contacts obtained a copy of a document in the archives. Contract for life.
The House of Repose is hereby sworn to eliminate anyone attempting to overturn the Montiliers' trading exile in Orlais.
Overly complicated assassination plots are part of Orlesian politics, I take it.
They're all too common, I'm afraid.
The contract was signed by a noble family. The Du Paraquets.
But the Du Paraquets died out as a noble line over 60 years ago.
Indeed. But the contract was signed 109 years ago.
How can a family try to kill you after they died out?
The Du Paraquets were our rivals. They drove the Montiliers from Valroyo. This contract was drawn up over 100 years ago, but it wasn't invoked until I tried to overturn my family's exile.
Unpleasant though it may be, the House of Repose is merely fulfilling its contractual duties.
If the people who wanted your family dead are gone, why are the assassins still after you?
A contract is a contract, Inquisitor. Orlesian businesses live and die by their reputations. The entire guild's welfare would be endangered if an agreement was tossed aside on a whim of time or fate.
She's quite right, your worship. The House of Repose is doing what it feels necessary. By its standards.
Wow, talk about professionalism.
I assume you have a thought or two on this, Josephine?
The Du Paraquets still have descendants under the common branch. If we elevate them to nobility, a Du Paraquet could annul the contract on my life.
That will take time, Lady Montilier. Time during which the House of Repose will be obliged to hunt you.
Will they now? You are exceedingly well informed. You're not to have said you'd heard rumors, at best.
A bit of subterfuge. This contract on your life is an ugly business. One the House of Repose deeply regrets. But this is Orlais. Even an assassin's word is his bond.
Does Comte Boisvert actually exist?
Absolutely. The Comte's offer to reveal the killers of Lady Montile's messengers was genuine. So was his information somehow. An end to be tied up later.
So we're actually speaking to the House of Repose at this point.
I'm guessing the actual Comte Boisvert met with a fatal accident.
Comte Boisvert slumbers in a nearby closet. Nothing more. The contract on Lady Montile's life is so unusual, we felt the courtesy of an explanation was in order.
It is appreciated, monsieur.
Your idea to seek out du Paraquet to revoke our orders is an interesting one. I wish you luck. I did not come to shed blood today, Inquisitor. Only to speak. Might I pass?
Why warn us about your contract and let us go?
In Orlais, it is only decent to inform those involved in a contract when extraordinary circumstances conspire.
And the guild's reputation would suffer if you ignored the contract. I quite understand.
Thank you, my lady. May we conclude with my departure?
If he's going to remain professional about this, then I guess we can too, at least for the present.
Go then.
Good day, your worship. My lady, I pray we never meet again.
Well, I didn't think our meeting would end like this.
We'll deal with these assassins.
I have some thoughts. Let's discuss them back at Skyhold. I'll feel safer with the castle's walls around me.
Indeed.
Here's something.
Oh, goodness. Comte Poivert, is that you?
He wasn't kidding
the
about
lock's
the
been
closet.
broken off. We'll find a saw. I realize the cabinet is quite valuable, Comte, but surely... A locksmith, then? As you wish.
Interesting. Though I guess the remaining unanswered question is why the contract on her life has been activated now. I guess you could say that maybe it was dependent on a member of Josephine's family actually trying to get back into Orlais. Maybe that's why it just started. Because otherwise you would have think people would have been after her years ago. Well, in any case, I just want to quickly update Sarah and Cole here. I've gotten to the point of leveling the characters where actually their main weapon skills are pretty much maxed out as far as abilities. And so I've been moving on to secondary specializations. And we're going to do that with Aurora as well, once we get her an official specialization. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Alright, you don't have to do anything extra to actually get him out of the closet. That's just a funny little coda to the scene. So let's actually just head back to Skyhold. Alright, and let's just quick travel here. Quickest way to get to Josephine is to just go directly to the throne room, or the main hall, whatever you want to refer to it as.
He likes them. Truly?
Very much, Lady Ambassador.
It's just butter and sugar. Ferelden taste is so... simple.
Hey, butter and sugar works.
I'm so sorry, Inquisitor. I never thought my family's trading status would trap us in an assassin's plot.
You couldn't have known it would lead to this House of Repose coming after you.
It still shouldn't have slipped past me. I've tracked down the last du Paraquets. If they become gentry, they can annul the contract on my life. We'll require a noble from Val Royeaux to sponsor them, a judge to provide documents, a minister to ratify them.
It's so like you to take the longest course of action, even when your life is at stake.
I assume you already know everything about this mess.
There is a faster way, Josephine. The original contract on your life is in the vaults of the House of Repose. If my agents infiltrate it and destroy the original, the assassin will have no obligation to chase you.
Leliana, please. I want no more bloodshed over a personal affair.
Don't be so stubborn, Josie. How long will it take you to gather these favors in Val Royeaux?
Give me some time to think this over.
I'll post a watch on our ambassador in case the House of Repose visits.
I appreciate it, but I still believe elevating the Du Paraquets will solve this. First, we need to perform some favors in Val Royeaux. I'd be happy to discuss where we could begin.
Okay. So at this point, you have you don't have to make that choice in the dialogue wheel. You could do what I do and kind of back off for a moment. And then you're left with these two options up here. If you want to, you can go directly to the war table and dispatch Liliana's assassins, and they will destroy the original. This is certainly the faster way of doing it. However, since this is Josephine's quest, I think would be more appropriate to go with the course of action that she has, which takes a couple more operations at the war table, but ends up doing this without potentially getting anybody killed. So we'll talk to Josephine again.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
How exactly does one turn farmers into members of the upper classes?
There are procedures for granting honored citizens of the Empire the title of Lord or Lady. Very long procedures. And so much paperwork. I've called in a substantial number of favors just to cut through half of it.
Why did the Du Paraquets hate the Montiliers so much they set up a permanent assassination watch?
A Montilier and a Du Paraquet fell in love. A young couple, pledged elsewhere, attempted to elope. The whole thing ended so violently, it's a wonder any survived. It's fortunate the Du Paraquets' descendants hold no grudges.
What if the Du Paraquets refuse to aid you?
I've already contacted the Du Paraquets, Inquisitor. They're ready to help us. It will be a long road, but a lordship is a chance to restore a proud lineage to their heirs. Besides, I've promised them a heavy bag of coin once this is over.
Ah, money to grease the wheels.
Are you sure the House of Repose will forget this assassin contract on a farmer's signature?
It's perfectly legal. In Val Royeaux's noble circles, a written word is a bond. Besides, the guild would never risk being so unspeakably crass.
These assassins are afraid of being seen as impolite.
Breaking one's public oath or bond implies a certain poverty in Orlais. A common merchant may lack the resources or manners to fulfill a debt, but among the guilds, it would be shameful.
You said I'd have to do some favors in Val Royeaux if we want to make the Du Paraquets lords.
The Countess Dion is our first step. Her lover, a mage from the White Spire, is missing. Bring her news of him and she'll be very amenable to sponsoring the Du Paraquets as lords.
Alright, so now let's head to the war table. I think I've waited long enough that all of the advisors should be free, so we'll have our choice of who to assign, especially if we need to have one specific advisor do it. Alright, first let me report back from some of the others. Off camera, I'd sent some informants to check out and hunt down this demon that there was evidence of at Thermofall Redoubt, perhaps the demon that had helped to corrupt the Templars. Inquisitor, the demon was clever enough to impersonate everybody from Seeker Pentagast to the Chief to even me at one point, but we caught it and put it down. There wasn't much left of the body after we killed the thing, but it had missives with useful information. Most of them confirm what we already knew. The Elder One planning to kill Empress Celine and march an army of demons across Orlais. But I'll pass them to Sister Liliana regardless. The demon also held some items the Inquisition might find handy. Hope they help. Lieutenant Cremasaclasi. Ah, so this was a Chargers operation. Good work. Alright. I'd also sent some assistance to King Alistair over in Denerim. I believe it was, yeah, it was against mages. A pitched battle with evil Inquisitor, well, that was bracing. A pitched battle with evil mages disguised as kitchen servants, fireballs flying and swords flashing. It brings back old times. I won't be eating anything coming out of those kitchens for a while, let me tell you. I wonder if they were even going to poison me. Nasty little cultists. Anyhow, I'm grateful for the Inquisition's help. We wouldn't have found them without you. King Alistair Theron. Let's see, was the other one over in Orlais? Nope, maybe it was Ferelden and I just missed it. I had one. Ah, there it is. Yeah, Dorian had requested that we see if we can find some remaining Venatori out near where Haven used to be. Dorian's leads were effective. The Inquisition found several locations where these Venatori could be hiding. Advanced camps. Purpose unknown. If you wish to deal with these mages, I'm certain Dorian would be pleased. I'll mark the locations on your map, should you pass by on any of your travels. Alright, so let's head back to Orlais. Here we go. Making the Du Paraquet's nobility is the key to stopping the assassination plot on Josephine's life. The first step is gaining them a noble sponsor. Countess Dion is willing to help in exchange for news about her lover, Ellery, a mage who went missing after the Mage-Templar War erupted. Yeah, Josephine, as you might expect, is the one with the shortest time. Ellery stood for the Old Circle Order. I will see if any of the Loyalists gave him shelter.
Let us begin.
Alright. So, nice thing about Let's Plays is I can make a cut. So, when we come back, we'll have that operation completed. And we're back. Let's see how the operation turned out. Letter to Countess Dion. My dearest Lynette, I was injured on the way back from the Conclave when this insane war erupted between the apostates and the Templars. I made it to a decrepit inn just before the gash on my leg turned into a fever. Fortunately, when the Inquisition's people found me, they sent for a proper healer. I owe them my life, I'm certain. I'm told the Inquisition will deliver this letter to you, which is the first peace of mind I've had since the Conclave. Stay in the capital, my love, until I can come to you. Yours always, Ellery. Alright. So hopefully this favor that we just granted will get us a favor in return. And so now we need to speak with the Countess Dion in Valrayo. So let's head over there. Very similar in location where before, so we'll just go here. Take the usual suspects, I guess.
Disaster is what it is, and you know it.
They'll appoint a new divine soon. One will make you stand up instead of protecting.
Oh, the name's not listed, but this must be her.
Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. You must have had a long journey to the city. Might there be any news from this house?
Here's a letter from Ellery. He's safe with his family in the Dales.
Oh, my Ellery. Oh, bless you. The Dions will sponsor the Du Paraquets as a family deserving of a noble title, Inquisitor. You have my word. Now please, forgive my hastiness, but I must read Ellery's words. Make her keep you.
And back we go again to Skyhold. This mission in particular involves a lot of zipping back and forth because of the diplomatic aspect. Most personal missions are usually in just one area. Alright. Once again, we'll go see Josephine. We'll see what the next step is.
Inquisitor!
What happened here?
The House of Repose decided to pay a visit. The guards arrived in time, but I should have guessed the assassins would infiltrate the servants.
Are you sure they didn't hurt you?
They only frightened me. It was all so sudden. Leliana assigned people to shadow me. They appear to have saved my life. I owe you everything, Sergeant.
Only my duty, Ambassador. I'll talk with the spy master about these murderous louts. She'll find how they got in.
Oh, dodged a bullet there, so to speak. Ah, and there's the assassin. Or would-be assassin at this point.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
What's the next favor we need to get these du paraquets a lordship?
We need a judge of the royal court to procure documents acknowledging them as nobility again.
All right. Next step in the great bureaucratic adventure. We'll be at the war table. Probably is in our lay side of things.
Are you all right, Leliana?
Are you?
I suppose not. Haven was trying.
Trying to find out where that mission is. Is it on the Ferelden side? I just didn't think it would be. Oh, I guess it is. All right. Gaining a judge's favor. Inquisitor, we must have Orlesian judge sign papers formally requesting we elevate the du paraquets into nobility. I've approached Judge Ald, who's requested a party of Inquisition soldiers meet him at the Frostbacks for a hunting expedition. Oh, that's why we're over here. Okay. Some sort of rare spider, as big as a horse, the judge was telling me, lives inside the caves a few days west of Skyhold. He would like an honor guard who knows the mountains to show him the way. Send some scouts and officers to accompany him, and Judge Ald will happily sign the paperwork we require.
Inquisitor?
All right. So that will be, again, another short space of time. So
Have
I'll
you
make
heard anything?
Not yet. I'll let you know as soon as I do.
another quick cut. So I'll be back once again. And we're back again.
You read the report?
It was unusual. Is he always so blunt?
Yes.
So we have getting a judge's favor completed. Inquisitor, Judge Ald has signed the papers we need to present du paraquets, the du paraquets as nobility again. There is now only one step left. A royal minister must ratify them. Please come see me when you have a chance. The judge passes on his compliments, by the way. Apparently the hunt was a marvelous bit of sport, and our soldiers acquitted themselves bravely against something called a screaming man-eater. Well, that must have been fun. The infirmary reassures me the injured will make a full recovery. Yikes. Alright, so let's head back to Val Royeaux again. Although it looks like we need to speak with Josephine first. Probably just to make the last step here official.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
What's the next favor we need to get these du paraquets a lordship?
We must persuade Minister Belize to ratify the papers. She's in charge of these matters of rank. The minister will be at a small fete thrown by the Marquis Wiscott. I'll get you an invitation.
Alright, one last operation to perform. Now you may wonder, why go through all this trouble when sending Liliana's assassins to destroy the contract is basically a one-step process, as opposed to the three-step one we're going through here. And as you might expect, as often with games where you have a kind of choice, one that requires more time and effort and the other one requires less, the one that requires more time and effort usually yields better consequences down the road. And that's the case here as well. Here we go. Speak with Minister Belize at party. Ambassador Montilier, forgive the late reply. Wonderful
Did you
as it
see the
is to
message
hear
I
from
sent?
you.
Yes, thank you.
Excuse me. I have just ridden from trouble in the Dales. The Civil War has made managing my holdings even more difficult. It would be much easier if I had the ear of the Council of Heralds. But alas, fortune has left me poor in that regard. The Inquisitor is always welcome at one of my humble fetes. I only regret that it may not be as grand as I would like. Please, dear lady, promise me you will warn her worship that my preoccupation will preclude a richer evening with my guests. With deep regard, Marquis Wiscott. Marquis is clearly fishing for an introduction to the council before you attend his party. I'll arrange one.
Let us begin.
And so we cut again. I'll see you guys on the other side. And back one more time. Completed this operation with the minister. As far as the introduction that we need. Inquisitor, I have the time and place of the Marquis' party. You must find a way to speak with Minister Belize privately about ratifying the Dupaquet's return to nobility. It is the last step we need. She holds the success of this entire endeavor in her hands. Signed, Josephine. Alright, so next step is, let's, oops. Need to switch. I was doing a few minor missions off camera here. Here we go. So this is the one we need to set active. Go to the Marquis' party. And is that at Valrayo? Yes. It's a separate little one-shot section again. So let's travel. Take our usual party with us.
Thank you for seeing me in private, Minister Belize.
I chastise you for taking me from the party, Inquisitor, but the Marquis throws such dull affairs. It's hardly worth it. I assume you wish to discuss your petition to elevate these Dupaquets to a minor lordship. Tell me, why should I allow you to pollute the Orlesian nobility any further than it's already been muddled?
The Dupaquets used to be noble. You'd be restoring an old house of Orlais.
Restoring it far too late. What are the Dupaquets now? Traders? Farmers? Really, it is too much. The very thought causes me pain. What can you possibly provide that will make your petition worth my effort?
Alright, so we need to decide what to give her in exchange. We have the support of the army, valuable information, connections beyond Orlais, and you can also attempt to seduce her. Let's go with connections beyond Orlais, because I think that's something that Josephine actually could pretty effectively set up.
Diplomatic connections that reach far beyond the boundaries of Valrayo, perhaps.
I might make use of your ambassador. The Montiliers aren't what they were, but at least they're from proper stock. Arrange for me to be introduced to the court of Antiva. I hear winter is most pleasant by their sea. Very well, Inquisitor. Should you fulfill this bargain, I shall raise the Dupaquets into lordship.
Alright, and now we just need to speak with Josephine, I think just one more time, and that should finish up this particular quest. Everything set up, Josephine?
I must return to Valrayo to see that everything is in order. Please join me when you can.
Oh, nope, gotta go back to Valrayo. Oh, so much travel for this mission. Okay, one more time.
It's the Grand Ball in the Winter Palace, you stumpy.
Looks like we're going to meet Josephine out by the dock. Hello, Josephine.
I received a letter from the House of Repose, Your Worship. They acknowledge their contract is null and void. There is no longer a price on my life.
I'm glad you don't have to live your life looking over your shoulder anymore.
I regret we were forced to deal with them, that you were endangered by my part in the game. Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
You were a singer?
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy. Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Valroyo when I learned about bards. There was such an air of romance about them. Stories of secrets, trysts, and fascinating people. A group of us, young gentry from Antiva, decided this exciting life was for us.
I don't imagine many firstborn heirs join those ranks.
No, I was a rather foolish exception. During one particular intrigue, I encountered a bard sent to kill my patron. We fought. Or perhaps scrapped is the better word. Both of us terrified. We were at the top of a steep flight of stairs. The other bard threw a knife, and I pushed him away from me. You can imagine the result.
You were only defending yourself.
But it was such a waste, Inquisitor. When I took off his mask, I knew him. We'd attended parties together. If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling like a common thug, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
He seemed willing enough to murder you for the game.
Perhaps. I feel I'm the last to judge whether or not he would have actually used the blade. In all the commotion... forgive me, I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Such a gracious woman deserves nothing less.
Such talk. I'm quite overcome.
Should I stop?
Oh, no. I mean, yes. I meant, no, I don't... Well, if you meant to draw a blush to my cheeks, you've completely succeeded. Let's return to Skyhold before anyone notices.
All right. Now, I think the next thing we should do is actually talk to her again back at Skyhold. We get 3 power for that quest, which is a pretty nice reward considering just the amount of real time you have to spend on it. And we get I got a point here, but actually I'm going to save that for when we grab a specialization, I think. All right, let's go back to Skyhold. And do our usual quick travel here.
Lady Montillier, hold a moment.
Whoa. It's actually the first time I've seen her just dismiss somebody there. Oh, she's got an Inquisitor to speak to it.
Leliana wished to speak with you, Inquisitor. It seemed rather urgent. It's good to see you.
Okay. I've already done
Let's
all
speak
those
later.
before.
Farewell.
Oh, maybe there's one other thing I need to do. I just really need to get this romance official so that we can get some of those extra lines of dialogue for the next mission. So I'll double check the requirements and be right back. Alright, I just double checked to make sure I hadn't made any missteps there. But in fact, speaking with Liliana here really quick is actually still a part of the Josephine romance storyline. And it's basically because Liliana is one of Josephine's best friends.
Inquisitor, may I have a word? I notice you've paid Lady Montilier quite a number of compliments.
You found me out, Spy Master.
An entanglement with our ambassador seems most unwise. I asked Josephine to join the Inquisition because we needed a diplomat, not so she could be toyed with.
I enjoy being with Josephine. I'm not trying to break her heart.
Then I would be more cautious. Josephine's no stranger to courtly intrigue. But love? There she's an innocent. She has no idea you are truly attracted to her. If indeed you are.
Yes, I'm very attracted to Josephine.
Is that so? Whatever is between you, I ask that you treat her with kindness. For her sake, as well as yours.
Whatever happens, I'm glad to see Josephine has a concerned friend here.
I have so few true friends these days. Those that are left I deeply cherish. I will not trouble you any further, but I do watch over my friends. Good day, your worship.
So we definitely better not break Josephine's heart, or we're going to have a vengeful spy master coming after us. Is the bottom line, I think. But it is nice to see that Liliana still does consider at least a few people actual friends, as opposed to just more fodder
Law has
in
asserted
her
itself.
spy network.
We'll see. Not much better than the road, you ask me.
If no one else is around, someone has to step up.
See?
Well, Leliana just gave me quite the speech.
What about?
About us.
Oh, she is impossible. Might we discuss this somewhere more private?
Leliana said I was an innocent in love?
More or less.
Of all the... I'm quite capable of understanding our association. I've never thought your intentions were overly romantic, Inquisitor. I assure you.
So here we have, as I said before, it's very nice that they actually put up the official line. This is going to start a romance, and versus here you can say, oh, I'm just flirting. I wasn't really interested in getting a romance. It's nice that they're very clear about that.
Perhaps I should have composed a ballad then. Or sent roses.
What? You mean you do? We've only just... I didn't wish to presume you harbored any tender feelings for me.
I won't deny a certain captivation, Josephine.
But we haven't even known each other a few short months. How can you declare this liking for me after such a brief time together?
I've never met anyone whose presence affects me like you do. Perhaps it just means I'm a hopeless romantic, but there you have it.
I would not object to a closer relationship between us, my lady. If that sounds agreeable to you.
Even in love, she makes it sound like a negotiation.
I'm actually quite glad Leliana prompted this talk.
I suppose she was right after all. Please don't tell her I said that.
I wouldn't dream of it.